Then Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went to the chief priests in order to betray Jesus to them. When they heard this, they were greatly pleased and promised to give him money. And then Judas went for an opportunity to betray him. When it was evening, Jesus came with the 12. And when they had taken their place and were eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me, one who is eating with me." And they began to be distressed and said to him one after the other, "Surely not I." And he said, "It is one of the 12, one who dips bread in the bowl with me. The Son of Man goes as it is written of him. But woe to the one by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better if that one had not been born." And while they were eating, Jesus took a loaf of bread, and after blessing it, he broke it and gave it to them. "Take, this is my body." And he took a cup, and after giving thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank from it. "This is my blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many. Truly I tell you, I will never again drink of this fruit of the vine until I drink it new in the kingdom of God." When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. And Jesus said, "All of you will become deserters. As it is written, I will strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter." But Peter said, "Even if others desert you, I will not." Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, this day, this very night, before the cock crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. Peter said, "Even if I must die with you, I will not deny you." And all of them said the same. And then he went with them to a place called Gethsemane. And he said, "Sit here while I pray." And he took with him Peter and James and John and began to be distressed and agitated. And he said, "I am deeply grieved, even to death. Remain here and stay awake." And going on a little farther, he threw himself on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. "Abba, Father, with you all things are possible. Let this cup pass from me, yet not what I want, but what you want." And he came and found them asleep. And he said to Peter, "Simon, are you sleeping? Could you not stay awake with me 1 hour? Pray that you do not come into the time of trial, for indeed the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." He went away a second time and prayed, saying the same words. And once more he came and found them asleep, for their eyes were heavy and they did not know what to say. He came a third time and said, "Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Enough! The time has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up! Let us be going. Look, my betrayer is at hand." And immediately while he was speaking, Judas came with a crowd, carrying swords and clubs from the chief priests and the scribes and elders. Giving them a sign, "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him and lead him away under guard." And when he came, he went up to Jesus at once and said, "Rabbi," and kissed him. They laid hands on him and arrested him. And Jesus said, "Have you come out with swords and clubs to arrest me as though I were a bandit? Day after day I taught in the temple teaching. You did not arrest me. Yet, let the scriptures be fulfilled." And all of them deserted him and fled. And they brought Jesus to the high priest, and all the chief priests, and all the elders, and all the scribes were assembled. Peter followed at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest, and sitting down with the guard who was warming himself by the fire. Now the chief priests and the whole council were looking for testimony against Jesus, that they might put him to death. But they found none. Many gave false testimony, but their testimony did not agree. Some said, "We heard this man say, 'I will destroy the temple made with hands, and in 3 days build a temple not made with hands.'" But even then, their testimony did not agree. So the high priest stood up and said, "Have you no answer? What is it that they testify against you?" But Jesus was silent and said nothing. And the high priest asked him again, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One?" And Jesus said, "I am. And you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven." Well, then the high priest tore his clothes and said, "Why do we still need witnesses? You have all heard his blasphemy. What is your decision?" And they all condemned him as deserving death. And they blindfolded him and beat him and spit on him and said, "Prophesy." And then the guards took him over and also beat him. While Peter was below in the courtyard, the servant girl of the high priest saw him warming himself. She stared at him. Said, "You also were with Jesus, the man from Nazareth." Peter denied it. "I do not know or understand what you are talking about." And he went out into the forecourt, and the cock crowed. And the servant girl, seeing him, said to the bystanders, "This man was one of them." Again, Peter denied it. And after a while, the bystanders said, "Surely you are one of them, for you are a Galilean." Peter began to curse and swore an oath, "I do not know this man you are talking about." And the cock crowed for the second time. And Peter remembered what Jesus had said, "Before the cock crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." And he broke down and wept.